You don't want a piece of these streets. It'll make you go bye-bye. You think you're hot but you don't want this heat. It'll make the helicopters fly by.
Salvana, you creative visionary, and welcome to Mindful Monday. Yes, welcome to Mindful Monday. Mindful Monday. Welcome to Mindful Monday. So yesterday we talked about planning your time and how you want to spend your time. And if you are wanting to make friends, that is a thing. We all want friends. I don't know who doesn't want friends, and I don't know who doesn't want connection. If you haven't watched that video, please make sure that you go and watch that video. It's really helpful. I shared towards the end of the video a process called Daily Inner Devotions. Daily Inner Devotions really helps you find what makes you happy, so that other people are not imposing their schedule. Yes, you still have to go to work if you have to go to work. If you're working remotely, you still got to work and you still got to do these things. But you need to find time to make yourself happy, to bring balance into your life, so that you're not out here on them streets giving away your energy to people who are just vomiting on you, giving away your energy to people who are just mindless. And I'm not saying these people are not good people. They're not nice people. It's just that humanity is awakening. I remember during my awakening experience, I was confused. I was totally confused. I was crying. I had anger issues. I was depressed. I was sad. I was anxious. I was a hot mess. I was a hot mess. But honestly, I decided that I was going to stay by myself and just be quiet and just try to find myself. Okay, so I got myself involved in a few relationships that weren't really healthy for me because I was dealing with really just mentally unstable human beings. But once I got boundaries with these souls, I realized that the more time I spent by myself, the more time I was happier. I'm like, why would anybody want to spend time with people that don't make them happy? This doesn't make sense to me. Honestly, it just does not make sense to me. But we all do it. So Daily Inner Devotions just really helps you say, no, I want to be happy, and this is how I want to be happy. And if you don't bring joy into my life like this, boundaries. But it's all about feeling good at the end of the day, however you connect with people. So I was talking to a girl here, and on the island that I live on. And it's so beautiful to speak to people when I'm out and about. And I was like, yeah, this is a really great topic for a video. She was saying to me that she feels so alone and she feels so isolated because she's not with her family. She doesn't see her family, and she's just alone. And I said, girl, I'm alone too. It's like, join the club, but do not join the club. But I mean, most of us are alone, and I mean, most of us who are expats, most of us who have relocated to another country, most of us who have stopped dealing with our families, most of us who have gone through a breakup and we just need time out for ourselves, we feel alone. But here's the thing. You are never alone because God is always with you. Nature is always with you. The spirit of the air is always with you. The sun is always blessing you. The earth is always honoring you. The spirit of the waters. How can you ever be alone? I swear to you. And then she said to me, but girl, you're African and you know these things from Africa, and I'm European. I don't know these things. My mother didn't teach me these things. I said, it's not a big deal that your mother didn't teach you these things, but it's just part of human nature. You live here on planet Earth, right? I'm from Africa, you're European, but we all live here on planet Earth. So we can all just recognize, there's trees. I can go climb a tree. I can go hug a tree. I can go climb rocks. I can just talk to the wind. I can go to the beach and swim. I can just sit there and get some sunshine. She was like, I can't because I'm white. And if I sit there too long and get some sunshine, I'm going to burn. I'm like, it's good to be an African. I think I learned that I burn too, even though it's beautiful to be an African. I learned that I burnt you. I was out in the sun the other time and my nose burnt, everything burnt. Okay. So the premise of this video is to, I love actually being here because I get to speak to so many people from so many different countries. And I learned so much about the nature of humans. So, so grateful I'm out of depression because now I just speak to people and I'm just not taking on their troubles, but I can just speak to them from a place of just learning about the nature of human. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. So the premise of this video was, proper English. She said to me, I get jealous when I see people who are in a relationship. I said, that's very brave of you to actually even utter that with your mouth. I feel jealous. I said, huh? And I said, does that jealousy turn to envy? She's like, at times I just start seething. And I'm like, girl, you're aware. You are aware of your own emotional state, which is like 10,000 times better than a person who's not aware of their emotional state and they go and steal somebody else's boyfriend. They try to kill that other woman. They start gossiping about that other woman. So honestly, I applaud you. I applaud you that you are aware. Do you know how far you are in this life experience? She's like, I didn't even think of it that way. I'm like, yeah, you need to, I was like, you need to applaud yourself for that. You are aware of the emotions you are experiencing because of this decision you have made to be estranged. I said, girl, you are like 10,000 miles away, like awoke. Then it brought me to the question questioning her, because I don't really like to tell people what to do. I find that it's best if I just ask them questions. So I was asking this girl questions. I was like, girl, so where does this envy come from? She's like, well, I am alone and I would really love to have someone in my life that loves me and that cares for me. I said, but you could do that for yourself. She's like, huh? I'm like, uh-huh. She's like, no, I really need someone to love me and accept me. And it would be so nice to be in a relationship. It'd be so nice to be married. It'd be so nice to have children. I said, but right now, that's not the case. So are you going to get mad at yourself because that's not the case? Are you going to continue to live in a state of envy? And what is this envy doing for you? What is this jealousy doing for you? Because, you could just start off from a state of jealousy. Oh, I'm so jealous that you have a boyfriend. I'm so jealous that you have a girlfriend. I'm so jealous that you have friends. But I'm like, but you made a decision to leave your family and to be here so that you can explore yourself, so that you can grow spiritually and personally and in your career. So you made a conscious choice. Part of that conscious choice will include periods of isolation and aloneness. And I think also the verbiage is very important. How we articulate our states of consciousness. I choose to be alone. I am not lonely. I choose to be alone. And I said, but you've made a choice to be alone. So celebrate the choice that you have made to be alone. And when jealousy shows up, ask yourself, what is it in me that wants that? She was like, huh, never thought of it like that before. I'm like, yeah, just ask yourself that question. Don't judge the jealousy. Because once you start judging this jealousy, it can quickly turn to envy. And once it turns to envy, it can get bad real quick. Now you're going to jail for trying to kill that woman so that you can have her husband or her boyfriend or whatever this is. Okay? But sometimes as women, we can get real dangerous with this envy. And we start losing our minds and common sense goes out the window. And then we do some really nasty things where we're like, who am I? What have I done? And then when people start exposing you, you're like, I don't know. I was like possessed by a demon. No, you are emotionally unintelligent. And you got taken over by a demon that was already inside of you. Just saying. Okay, so I said to her, what in you wants that? And once I asked her that question, she's like, well, I didn't really have a stable family, and so I've always wanted to have a stable family. I'm like, so it's not that you want to be in a relationship, it's that you're jealous of that girl in that relationship. You want a stable family. You want that sense of connection. You want that sense of feeling accepted and loved and validated. I said, what if you could just give that to yourself? She looked at me like I had 5 heads. She's like, where do you come up with this stuff? I'm like, you know what? I had to live this and ask myself these questions, because honestly, when I left home at 17 years old, I had to ask myself these questions. No, I lie. I used to read a lot of books, and Sunday was my day. So Sunday, go to a bookstore and buy some books. And I bought one book. I can't remember what the name of the book, Heal Thyself, I think it was called. And in the book, there were a lot of questions. And I found that every time I would answer these questions, I would come up with a new answer. But like the answers were deeper and were more meaningful and were more kind of like thought-provoking. Well, the questions were thought-provoking and the answers were more meaningful. So this is after I got out of a relationship with a guy who tried to kill me. I don't know. I just have a thing with people who are trying to kill me. But that's over. Those contracts are done. Done. Cancel them. So, sorry, I just had to just pat myself. It's kind of hot today. But after that experience, I decided that no. I need to love myself. I need to spend time with myself. I need to get to know myself. And the more I loved myself and the more I connected with myself, the more I validated myself, the more I realized, okay, yeah, I left home and most of the time I couldn't go home to see my family because my dad didn't really like me at that time. But I learned to love myself, and I learned to do things by myself, and I learned to be happy by myself. And then, had a few more relationships after that. And then finally I met my husband. And yeah, it's been quite a journey. But first, whenever you find yourself envious, envy is a dangerous one. But whenever you find yourself jealous of another person's relationship, number one, you don't know what's going on in that relationship. You have no idea. That woman could be being beaten there in that house. That woman could be living with a narcissist, and when they're out on the streets, they look so perfect. Ooh, they look real perfect. Do not envy other people's things. Do not be jealous of other people's things. Jealousy is an emotion that is asking you to question within yourself. What is it that I see in that person that I truly want for myself? And it's more than just something on the outside, because I have met women who were like, yeah, I want love, I want a relationship. When they get that relationship, they want out of that relationship. They are now talking to me for hours about these things. And I said, but you said you wanted the relationship. Now you have the relationship. The universe has answered your prayers. Now you're telling me that you don't want the relationship? Like, make up your mind. What is it that you want? Is it you want the relationship and you're going to stay in that relationship and work at it? No. I thought it was going to be perfect. Don't we all think it's going to be perfect? After 22 years of being with one man, I'm just like, yeah, these relationships are not perfect. They are not perfect. You've got to work on it. But if you first work on yourself and you spend enough time working on yourself, loving yourself, accepting yourself, validating yourself, dancing by yourself, just being by yourself and just expressing the creativity of the living God within yourself and just being like, woo! Yes, me, so in love with myself. Get out of your depressions. Get out of your anxious attachment problems. Anxious attachment problems. That's what I was talking to this girl about. I was like, girl, you got anxious attachment problems. Get out of this stuff and get to secure attachment. And once you're there, you're secure in yourself. You're secure in whom you are, who God made you as. You love yourself. You honor every part of who God made you as. Then whether a man is there or whether a man is not there, you're like, thank you. Men too. I have met men who are just so insecure. They are so anxious in relationships. Not even in relationships. They're anxious about their own lives, about themselves. And I'm like, and you want a girlfriend? Why? maybe you should just work on yourself. And they're like, oh, you should be a relationship coach. I'm like, no, I am not a relationship coach, because I'm figuring out my own relationship with myself, not with anybody else, but with myself. So this is where I found is the power. Figure out your relationship with yourself, because once you figure out your relationship with yourself, you bring a whole version, and that's not going to happen overnight. But like, if you're already estranged from your family, if you're already an expat, if you're already out there in the streets by yourself, it is a perfect time to figure out who you are, what you love, what you will not tolerate. And from there, you can move forward. And if a relationship doesn't work, you're not like completely falling apart, sad, crying, running around, trying to love me, say that you love me, say that you love me and you need me. This is exhausting. Honestly, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. But what do I know? all I know is how to work on myself, how to love myself, how to accept myself, and how to thank God for making me who I am. And so that when I show up somewhere, if you don't like me, if you can't accept me, you're lost, not mine. Just saying. So in the comments below, let's have dialogue. What do you do on a daily basis to prove to yourself that you love yourself, that you accept yourself, that you are proud of who you are? And if you haven't started this process of saying, I love this about myself, I celebrate this about myself, I accept this about myself, maybe you should start. And when are you going to start? Please, in the comments below, let's have some dialogue. Dialogue is helpful for us. Yes. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you. I'm out of depression. I love myself. You must love yourself too, okay? Love yourself. So remember, please subscribe, like, share, click, follow, ring the notification bell so you never miss another video.